الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله، اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين. نفعنا الله وإياكم بذكر الحكيم، ورزقنا الله وإياكم الثبات على صراطه المستقيم. أصلح الله أحوالنا وأحوالكم وأحوال أمة حبيبه محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ما أصلح به أحوال عباده الصالحين. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be for us and for the ummah of Habibah, of his beloved Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in everything and in all the states. Ameen ya arhamar rahimin ya rabbil alameen. And we found the book that I meant reading, which is the Alchemy of Happiness, the other one, the summary, the Alchemy of Happiness. He says, radiyallahu anhu, "Know, O beloved, that man was not created in jest or at random, but marvelously made and for some great end, but marvelously made and for some great end. Know, O beloved, that man was not created in jest or at random. أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا." The human being was not created like that. He was created for a reason, for a great end, and marvelously made. Marvelously made. There is a secret in the creation of Ibn Adam. There is a secret in his body. There are secrets in his body, the secrets in the eye, the secrets in the ear, the secrets in the cell, the secrets in everything. But more than that, and deeper than that, his soul, his spirit, is in his heart and his inner self. He is a wonder and is a marvel much greater than the marvel of the body. Although he is not from everlasting, yet he lives forever. Although he is not from everlasting, Ibn Adam, yet he lives forever. And though his body is mean and earthly, yet his spirit is lofty and divine. Ibn Adam lives forever because his spirit lives forever. The ruh never dies. The ruh is always there. So although he is not from everlasting, he is not from things that remain forever, yet he lives forever with his spirit. And though his body is mean and earthly, yet his spirit is lofty and divine. So when in the crucible of abstinence, of zuhd, abstinence means patience, means detachment from material things. So when he is in that crucible of abstinence, he is purged, purified. He is purged from carnal passions, and he attains to the highest. And in place of being a slave to lust and anger, he becomes endued with angelic qualities. If he accepts to be forged, or he accepts to be burned, or he accepts to be purified or purged in the crucible of abstinence. So when in the crucible of abstinence he is purged from carnal passions, and he attains to the highest, and in place of being a slave to lust and anger, he becomes endued with angelic qualities. Attaining that state, he finds his heaven in the contemplation of eternal beauty, and no longer in fleshly delights, attaining that state, he finds his heaven, his sa'ada, his happiness, in the contemplation of eternal beauty, and no longer in fleshly delights. The spiritual alchemy, which operates this change in him, like that which transmutes base metals into gold, is not easily discovered, nor to be found in the house of every old woman. It is to explain that alchemy and its methods of operation that the author has undertaken this work, which he has entitled The Alchemy of Happiness, which he has entitled The Alchemy of Happiness. The spiritual alchemy which operates this change in him, like that which transmutes base metals into gold, is not easily discovered, nor to be found in the house of every old woman. It is to explain that alchemy and its methods of operation that the author has undertaken this work, which he has entitled The Alchemy of Happiness. Now, the treasuries of God in which this alchemy is to be sought are the hearts of the prophets, and he who seeks it elsewhere will be disappointed and bankrupt on the day of judgment when he hears the word, "We have lifted the veil from off thee, and thy sight today is keen." The treasuries of God in which this alchemy is to be sought and found are the hearts of prophets. The hearts of prophets. And he who seeks it elsewhere will be disappointed and bankrupt on the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. God has sent on earth 124,000 prophets to teach men the prescription of this alchemy and how to purify their hearts from baser qualities in the crucible of abstinence. This alchemy may be briefly described as turning away from the world to God, and its constituents are four. And its constituents are four: the knowledge of self, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of this world as it really is, the knowledge of the next world as it really is. Who am I? Who is God? And what am I here for? Basically, the knowledge of self, the knowledge of God, the knowledge of this world as it really is, the knowledge of the next world as it really is. We shall now proceed to expound these four constituents in order. The knowledge of self. Knowledge of self is the key to the knowledge of God, according to the saying, "He who knows himself knows God." And as it is written in the Quran, "We will show them our signs in the world and in themselves, that the truth may be manifest to them." Now, nothing is nearer to you than yourself. And if you don't know yourself, how can you know anything else? If you say, "I know myself," meaning
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Knowledge of self is the key to the knowledge of God. According to the saying, "He who knows himself knows God." And as it is written in the Quran, "We will show them our signs in the world and in themselves, that the truth may be manifest to them." Now, nothing is nearer to you than your own self. And if you don't know yourself, how can you know anything else? If you say, "I know myself," meaning your outward shape, your body, face, limbs, and so forth, such knowledge can never be a key to the knowledge of God. As well, if your knowledge as to that which is within you only extends so far that when you are hungry you eat, when you're angry you attack someone, will you progress any further on this path? Because after all, animals are your partners in this kind of knowledge. But true self-knowledge consists in knowing the following things: what you are in yourself, where you have come from, where you are going, and for what purpose you came to this earth for a while. And finally, where does your true happiness and your true misery lie? What do those things actually consist in?
Read it again.
If you say, I know myself, meaning your outward shape, body, face, limbs, and so forth, such knowledge can never be a key to the knowledge of God. As well,
Such knowledge can never be a key to the knowledge of God. Some people today, they think that we know God when we know the structure of our bodies and the complexity of the structure of our body, and their knowledge of God is limited or reduced to, we know that God exists, for example. And they see, okay, the fact that the eye is so complicated, the fact that the ear is so intricate. The fact that the system in our body is so complex and so rich, and so the fact that the system is so perfect, that means there is a creator for this. And that's an aspect, the one who knows himself. But that's not only that's not only yourself, the one who sees things around him, the animals, the mountains, the spring, the winter, the rain. The one who sees that, he knows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ala kulli shay'in qadir. He comes to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all powerful, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually is actually able to do anything he wants. That's one aspect of knowledge. That's one aspect of knowledge. But that's not what he means here.
as well, if your knowledge as to what is within you only extends so far that when you are hungry, you eat, when you are angry, you attack someone, will you progress any further on this path?
Also, the knowledge of self that we have today, and these are actually the two knowledges of self that the modern time is giving us. The first kind, which we explained, now we know more than any other time before how the body is working. Our knowledge of the cells, the world of cells, our knowledge of the minerals our body contains, our knowledge of the minerals our body contains, our knowledge of the systems, of the digestive system, all the other systems. Our knowledge today is bigger and more complicated and more developed than the knowledge of our ancestors in that regard. The other kind of knowledge of the self, when you say I know myself today, when someone tells you I know myself, so the first meaning could be that I know myself, I know my body, I know what I have, I know what my body contains. طيب. The other meaning, I know my needs. And he's telling you, if you think that knowing yourself is knowing your needs, knowing what makes your knowing your needs, knowing your carnal desires, knowing if you are angry, you attack, and if you are hungry, you eat. And if you are angry, you attack. It's telling you that's not the kind of knowledge that will make you progress in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the same things. The first kind of knowledge and the second kind of knowledge, you are not unique in that regard. The cells of the human being or the cells of the animals, the digestive system of some animals, they look even more, I would say, I won't say more perfect, but more developed, or I would say not more developed, more interesting than the digestive system. The digestive system of some plants is very, sometimes it blows your mind. The needs, also knowing the needs. All the beasts, they know their needs. They know when they are angry, they defend themselves and they attack, and they know when they are hungry how to find their food.
As well, if your knowledge as to that which is within only extends so far as to know that when you are hungry you eat, when you are angry you attack someone, will you progress any further on this path when the animals are your partners in this kind of knowledge?
Naam.
But true self-knowledge consists in knowing the following things.
Ewa.
What you are in yourself,
What you are in yourself. What is your real self? What you are in yourself. Naam.
where you came from,
Where you came from
where you are going,
and where you are going.
what purpose you have come here for a short time,
And what purpose you come,
with what purpose you've come here for a short time,
with what purpose you come here for a short time.
and what your true happiness and your true sorrow consist in.
And what makes you happy and what makes you sad, truly. What are the 4 questions again?
What you are or who you are in yourself,
Naam, who you are in yourself,
where you came from,
where you came from,
where you're going,
where you are going,
the purpose of your being here,
the purpose of your being here,
and what true happiness and sadness are for you.
and what
questions.
true happiness and sadness are for you.
5 questions.
Naam.
Some
These are, when you answer these questions, you know yourself. Who you are, for real, your origin, your destination, because it goes, your origin and destination are part of who you are. Who you are, your origin, your destination, where are you coming from, your destination, and what is your role, what is your mission, why you are in this world for this short time, and what makes you really happy and what makes you really sad. What is your happiness, your true happiness, your real happiness, and what is your real misery or real sadness. Naam.
Some of your attributes are those of animals, some of devils, and some of angels. And you have to find out which of these attributes are accidental and which are essential.
Naam. Some of your attributes are those of animals. Some of your attributes are those of devils. And some of them are those of angels. And you see them in yourself. And you have to know, you have to find out which of these attributes are accidental, hadith, they came, they appeared after, and which of these attributes are essentials, means your true attributes. Aywa.
So accidental is like things that you have accrued.
عوارض نعم. يعني they accidental, anything accidental can be removed. Anything accidental can be removed and is to be removed. is to be, and essential is your essence. Essential is what will be staying, what will be staying forever. It's not affected by anything. It's essential. Now,
Until you know this, you cannot find out where your real happiness lies. The occupation of animals is eating, sleeping, and fighting. Therefore, if you are an animal, busy yourself in these things. Devils are busy in stirring up mischief, and in guile and deceit and deception. If you belong to them, do their work. Angels contemplate the beauty of God and are entirely free from animal qualities. If you are of angelic nature, then strive towards that origin of yours, so that you may know and contemplate the Most High and be delivered from the enthrallment of lust and anger. You should also discover why you have been created with these two animal instincts, whether they should subdue and lead you captive, or whether you should subdue them, and in your upward progress make one of them your steeds and the other your weapon.
read it again. The occupation of animals.
The occupation of animals is eating, sleeping, and fighting. Therefore, if you are an animal, busy yourself in these things.
Let's be contented with that. If you are an animal, if you want to be contented with that origin, with that identity, if you want to be contented with that, خلاص, busy yourself with eating, drinking, sleeping, and fighting. Busy yourself with these things. If you want to be contented with that identity. Now, devils are busy in stirring up mischief and in guile and deceit. And if you belong to them, do their work. Angels contemplate the beauty of God and are entirely free from animal qualities. If you are of angelic nature, then strive towards that origin. Then you may contemplate the most and know the Most High Subhanahu wa Taala, and be delivered from the
enthrallment,
from the lust and anger and these things. Aywa. Continue.
You should also discover why you have been created with these two animal instincts, whether they should subdue and lead you captive, or whether you should subdue them, and in your upward progress make one of them your steed and the other your weapon.
He summarized it here, the whole suluk, the whole thing. So and then you have to think, why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you this animal desire and this animal instincts, the lust and the what we call the lust, not the lust, the desiring to acquire things and refusing things and anger, passion and anger. We can call them passion and anger. We can call them, here he's calling them lust and anger. You can call them the desire to acquire things and taking all the means to acquire that thing, and refuting, and the power of refuting things and taking all the means to do so. He's telling you, so if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you these two instances, for what reason? Some people, they tell you, that's it. That reason, He gave us this. That means He wants us to live like that. He wants us to live by these instincts. He wants us to live with these instincts and by these instincts and according to them. But the reality is that these instincts, you have two choices. You have two choices. You can choose to have them
Control you.
controlling you, or to be controlled by them, controlling you, or you can choose to control them. It's your choice. To be controlled by them, you can choose to have them in control of you and of your life, or you can choose to control them. And if you choose to control them, you can make one of them your steed and the other one your weapon. You can subdue them instead of them controlling you. Bismillah.
The first step to self-knowledge is to know that you are composed of an outward shape called the body and an inward entity called the heart or soul. By heart, I do not mean that piece of flesh situated in the left of our bodies, but that which uses all the other faculties as its instruments and servants. In truth, it does not belong to the visible world, but to the invisible, and has come into this world as a traveler visits a foreign country for the sake of merchandise, and will presently return to its native land. It is the knowledge of this entity and its attributes which is the key to the knowledge of God.
Read it again.
The first step to self-knowledge is to know that you are composed of an outward shape called the body and an inward entity called the heart or soul. By heart, I do not mean that piece of flesh situated in the left of our bodies, but that which uses all the other faculties as its instruments and servants.
So he means by the heart the secret within us that uses all the other faculties as its instruments and servants. Naam.
In truth, it does not belong to the visible world.
This heart does not belong to the visible world. It's not something material. It's heavenly. It's from the world of angels. Naam.
But to the invisible. And it has come into this world as a traveler visits a foreign country for the sake of merchandise, and will presently return to its native land. It is the knowledge of this entity and its attributes which is the key to the knowledge of God.
Naam.
Some idea of
knowing your heart and knowing that coming to discover your heart and coming to identify the needs of your heart and coming to feel your heart, that's the key to the knowledge of God. The heart, we are not talking about the emotions. We are not talking about the emotions. We are talking about the spiritual heart. We are talking about something very deep within you. And he's telling you, we call it heart, or we call it ruh, we call it spirit. It's the same thing. We call it intellect, we call it heart sometimes, we call it ruh, we call it spirit. It's not something material. It belongs to the invisible world. It belongs to the world of unseen. It belongs to the world of As-Samawi. It belongs to the world of angels, as we explained yesterday. Now,
some idea of the reality of the heart or spirit may be obtained by a person closing his eyes and forgetting everything around except his individuality. He will thus also obtain a glimpse of the unending nature of that individuality. Too close inquiry, however, into the essence of spirit is forbidden by the law. In the Quran, we have the verse, "They will question you concerning the spirit. Say, the spirit comes by the command of my Lord. This much is known of it, that it is an indivisible essence belonging to the world of decrees, and that it is not from the everlasting world, but from the created world. An exact philosophical knowledge of the spirit is not necessary as a preliminary to walking the path of religion, but comes rather as the result of self-discipline and perseverance in that path. As it is said in the Quran, those who strive in our way, verily we will guide them to the right paths.
Read it again. Some idea.
Some idea of the reality of the heart or spirit may be obtained by a person closing his eyes and forgetting everything around except his individuality. He will thus also obtain a glimpse of the unending nature of this individuality.
نعم. So he's telling some idea of the reality of the heart of the spirit can be obtained by what we call meditation. And so Imam Ghazali here is talking, say, a person closing his eyes and forgetting everything around except his individuality. This is what we call meditation. And he will obtain a glimpse of the unending nature of that individuality. Aywa?
Too close inquiry, however, into the essence of spirit is forbidden by the law.
I would say inquiry or speculation. Speculating, however, into the essence of the ruh is forbidden by the Quran. Speculation in general is forbidden by the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want us to start thinking and making theories and building theories and making ideas from outside about things we do not have a grasp. We cannot grasp. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want us to be like that. Rather, He wants us to taste to the reality of things, and after that you may have something to describe, but speculation was never an Islamic science. Speculation was never an Islamic science, was never an accepted Islamic science. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls it laghu, futile. It's like futile thought, futile thinking. Vain
thoughts.
Vain thoughts and vain thinking. طيب. So he's telling you, don't speculate on the world of the soul. Now, don't speculate on the world of the heart of the ruh. Rather, continue.
As we have the verse in Quran, they will question you concerning the spirit. Say, the spirit comes by the command of my Lord.
Oh, well, the spirit is from the world of my Lord. من أمر ربي قل الروح من أمر ربي. Or the spirit does not belong to the alam of khalq, but it belongs to the alam of amr. We have two worlds. We have the world of creation, it's called the alam al-khalq, alam al-zahir, alam al-khalq, the creation, physical things. Your body is from alam al-khalq. The animals are from alam al-khalq. Anything we see around us and even within us is from alam al-khalq, from the world of creation. There is the world of creation and there is the world of al-amr, alam al-khalq, and there is alam al-amr. The world of amr is the world of decree. We call it the world of decree or the world of the divine. So there is alam al-khalq, الذي خلق فسوى, that's عالم الخلق. والذي قدر فهدى, that's عالم الأمر. So the world of creation and the world of destiny, or the world of decree, if we can call it so, or the world of mystery. Also we can call it the world of mystery. The world of decree, the world of destiny, the world of mystery, the world of the unseen. And that's the meaning, يسألونك عن الروح قل الروح من أمر ربي, the word of command. You can also This is the world of forms. And the other world is the world of essence. We can call it like that.
Yeah.
World of forms and world of essence. So they ask you about the spiritual heart. They ask you about the reality of hearts. They ask you about the spirit. They ask you about the heart. Tell them, Ya Muhammad, the spirits, the heart, they do not belong to the world of the creation. They belong to the world of
Formlessness.
formlessness, essence. They belong to the world of essence. They belong to the world of formlessness. They belong to the world of God. They belong to the world of the divine. Naam.
This much is known of it, that it is an indivisible essence belonging to the world of decrees or formlessness,
Naam.
and the divine realm, and that it is not everlasting, it is rather created.
Yeah, and it is not from everlasting. We have to understand there is a difference. So the ruh that we have in the human being is not the ruh of God. We have to be careful. Some people we tend to understand نفخت فيهم الروحي, that we are animated by the Spirit of God. That means the same Spirit, the same thing that is making God alive is making us alive. Astaghfirullah, that would be blasphemous, that would be wrong. No, it is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ar-Ruh, it is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not from the world of Azal. It's not from the world of everlasting. But it is there forever. Like paradise, like the hell. It's not from the world of everlasting. They are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they are there forever, like angels. They are not from the world of everlasting, but they are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب.
So only Allah is.
But they say only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is from the world of everlasting. Everything else is created. So the ruh that we have within us is not God. The ruh that we have within us is not part of God. It's not God. It's not, yes, we call it the breath of God. We call it this, but it means what? It is created by God. It is created by God, and it is very noble creation. It is a very noble creation. Its potential, it's higher than the potential of angels. It's the most noble creation that God has ever created, the ruh of Bani Adam. It's the most noble. It is a creation. It is a creation. It's not a creator. It's not God. So many spiritualities, modern spiritualities, and even ancient spiritualities, they get confused with this. And even Sufi, sometimes spiritualities, and ignorant Sufis, those who do not understand the Aqeedah, etc., they may understand. They may go, okay, God says I blew my spirit in Ibn Adam, and they tell you that means you have God within you. And that's no. Say my spirit, like when I say my food, the food that I made, that my spirit. نسب Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala إليه تشريفا. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is a tashrif. When I said my spirit, that means my best creation, something like that. Like, not the spirit, but my spirit. نفخت فيه من روحي. But it is a creation. Like Sayyidina Jibreel is a creation. Sayyidina Jibreel is not God. Angels are not God. And Sayyidina Jibreel is called the Ruh al-Amin or Ruh al-Qudus also. So the Ruh of Ibn Adam, its potential is higher than the potential of angels. Though very rare are those who can really achieve their potential like that. Naam. So it is not from everlasting. It is created. Naam. Aywa?
An exact philosophical knowledge of the spirit is not a necessary preliminary to walking in the path of religion, but comes rather as a result of self-discipline and perseverance in that path.
نعم.
As it is said in Quran, those who strive in our way, verily we will guide them to the right paths.
نعم. And that's the Islamic perspective of acquiring and how to acquire knowledge. We have to walk the walk. We have to walk the walk, and by the end, you realize things, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you wisdom. Those who strive in our way, we will guide them to the right path. Those who strive in our way will give them knowledge. It's not through speculation. It's not through speculation that we come to know things. And he's telling you it's not necessary to walking in the path. What do you need to walk in the path? What do you need to walk in the path? If knowing the spirit and all what you have within you, and the components and the origin of the ruh, and what exactly is your ruh, if this is not a necessary preliminary to walking in the path of religion, what would be a necessary preliminary to walking in the path of religion? What would be a necessary preliminary? If this is not a necessary preliminary, what would be necessary preliminary to walk in the path of Deen? Tawbah. What else? What is Tawbah? One word. Only one necessary preliminary to walk in the path of religion. What would it be? Think about it. What is the only thing you need to start walking in the path of God? Something before all of these. When you say intention, sincerity, ikhlas, of what? Purpose, okay. What is that purpose? What makes that purpose happen? Certainty of what? Okay, I'm certain that Montreal exists. I have certainty, I have yaqeen 100%. I've been there, I know that Montreal is right there. Is right in this direction, and in the east, and it takes 2 hours to get there. Okay. Love. I love to be there. Love. That's the only necessary preliminary. Love. That's it. That's the only thing. Do you want to be there or don't? That's it. That's the only thing that you need to have. That's the only thing that you need to have. صاحب المحبة ما ترك حبة. The one who has love, he doesn't miss anything. He won't miss anything. But the one who doesn't have love, or his love is missing, لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Even if he knows all of this, even if he has all the theories, developed theories, he has written books, even not read books. He has written books about the ruh and tasawwuf and all of that. Only a heart that is really attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, attachment to God, love of God, desire of God, desire to be with God, desire to be with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, desire to be with those who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the thing that we need. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make this dua a lot. Allahumma inni as'aluka hubbak wa hubba man ahabbak. 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 Allah, I ask you to grant me your love and the love of those who
love you,
and the love of those who love you. Oh Allah, grant me your love and the love of those who love you. In another narration, Allahumma nas'aluka hubbak wa hubba man yuhibbuk wa hubba al-amal alladhi yuqarribuni ila hubbak waj'al hubbaka ahabba ilayya min al-ma' al-barid 'ala al-dhama. in another narration, اللهم نسألك حبك وحب من يحبك. Oh Allah, I ask you.
Your love and the love of those who you love,
نعم.
and the love of the good deeds which will bring me closer to your love,
And the love of good deeds that should bring me closer to your love. أيوة.
and make your love sweeter to me than water to a thirsty person.
Than fresh water to a thirsty person. آمين. اللهم نسألك حبك وحب من أحبك وحب العمل الذي يقربنا إلى حبك، واجعل حبك أحب إلينا من الماء البارد على الظمأ، واجعل حبك أحب إلينا من كل شيء. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا حبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين. آمين. ربنا انفعنا بما علمتنا، رب علمنا الذي ينفعنا، رب فقهنا وفقه أهلنا وقراباتنا في ديننا مع أهل القدر أنثى وذكر. رب وفقنا ووفقهم لما ترتضي قولا وفعلا كرما، وارزق الكل حلالا دائما، وأخلا أتقياء علما، نحظى بالخير ونكفى كل شر. ربنا واصلح لنا كل الشؤون، اقض عنا ربنا كل الديون، قبل أن تأتينا رسل المنون، واغفر استر أنت أكرم من ستر. وصلاة الله تغشى المصطفى من إلى الحق دعانا، والوفاء بكتاب فيه للناس شفاء، وعلى الآل الكرام الشرفاء، وعلى الصحب المصابيح الغرر. اللهم اهدنا بهداك ولا تولنا وليا سواك، ولا تجعلنا من خالف أمرك وعصاك. وصل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.